Hi everyone, welcome back to Nikki Uncut. I thought we would take a little trip together down memory lane. The memory lane of the world's most expensive makeup tutorial that I posted just recently on my channel. These are all the products that I use for that makeup look, and I thought we would just reinvent it. Like, let's do a makeup look using all of these products that I actually liked. So not all the products, but just the ones specifically that I enjoyed, that I am getting my money's worth, that I'm still currently loving and wearing on pretty much like a day-by-day basis at this point. So I am going to swap out a few things I just think are not worth it, and I just don't want to put on my face. They either just totally disappointed me, or they just were not worth sharing again. So I'll talk about them. I'll let you know the ones that I'm talking about that I'm not going to feature again on my face. But let's get right into it. My skin is prepped, and we're going to start things off with the base, okay? And the base makeup is one of the most expensive products was it the most expensive actually? Now that I think about it, this was the most expensive product out of all the products that are in this bin of stuff right here. So this was $280. It is the La Prairie Skin Caviar Concealer Foundation Sunscreen. It has SPF 15 in it. I have been absolutely, positively loving this. And I've been talking about it a lot, like mainly on my YouTube lives. So if you ever join me on YouTube lives, I feel like I talk about it more there. Maybe it was just more in like Instagram Reels. Either way, whether publicly or privately, I've been loving this product so much. In fact, I was talking to Lisa J about this foundation, or just this video in general. She had asked me if she, like, quote unquote needed it. And here's the thing about this foundation, okay? I told her point blank, I'm like, no, you don't need it. And I do think genuinely that this foundation is probably not the best suited for like high heat and like high humid climate. So she does live in Austin, Texas. It is very humid there. I can attest to that. And I know she likes to be a little bit more satin leaning matte, so her makeup lasts all day. And I couldn't agree with that mindset more, especially where she lives. So for that reason, I was like, I don't think you need it. But I did tell her, you know, it does feel incredible on your skin. And if you do get it, you're going to end up loving it. However, is it the best suited for Texas heat? No, it's not. It's definitely not. It's barely suited for my oily skin and this California heat wave that I've been enduring. So, but do I wear it anyway? Yes. Do I love the way it feels? Gosh, yes. It feels heavenly, okay? It feels amazing. So, it's kind of, I feel like it's almost been like a dirty little secret of mine that I've been loving this foundation, because I don't feel that comfortable going out and saying to my audience that I love and I care about you all that I love and recommend this product because of the price tag. And if the price tag wasn't so outrageous, I'd be recommending this all day long. I'd be recommending this in my sleep, like talking to myself. You know what I mean? That's how nice it feels on my skin. Now, a couple things I do want to say and call out about this foundation is it is beautiful on. It feels amazing. Okay, it feels very nourishing. Like you put a really nourishing, moisturizing serum on your skin. Like that's exactly what it feels like to wear the La Prairie foundation. But longevity-wise, it doesn't quite have, the longevity that many other foundations obviously do. So it's very glowy. I will say if you have more dry skin, even like combination skin or even just normal skin, if you have any skin other than an oily skin type, you could definitely wear, and you'll probably see it wear longer throughout the day on you and your skin type than I do for myself, because I am more oily, like I mentioned a lot. And on top of that, I wear a very high SPF under my makeup. And then under that, I usually wear some form of an active serum, like a vitamin C serum, just to prep my skin. So I'm already very well hydrated when I go into wearing this foundation. And yes, could I like step it down a notch to accommodate for the nourishing factors and ingredients that are in this foundation? Yes. But do I ever remember to do that? No. So, I think it's great. Long story short, I think it's a fantastic feeling and looking foundation. It just has an ungodly price tag to it. Like the rest of La Prairie stuff, all of it has a extremely wild price tag. I mean, we're talking wild, wild, high luxury price tag. So this is the finish of it. It is just, it's just something on, you know, it just looks so beautiful. I do want to call out and update you on how I feel about the concealer up top. I do not like the concealer up top. I've used it in certain areas of my face where I just feel like I need a little more coverage, which is usually for me around my nose. I get really red around my nose. I have allergies. I've used it also in a pinch when I've literally forgot to pack a concealer in my to-go makeup bag when I'm traveling and doing stuff like that. And I've used it under my eyes. I do not recommend this under the eyes. I really, like, hard stop. I don't recommend it under the eyes. I think it's actually way too heavy, and it actually ends up looking very cakey on the skin. So that's a disappointment, but something that's very important to call out. I don't recommend the concealer. However, the foundation is quite superb. Let's dive into some other things from this makeup tutorial, okay? This full face of the world's most expensive makeup. Now, the concealer, I'm actually not going to use this for this video because I just don't really fully recommend it. It's $95. It's from Tom Ford. And I want to give you two options instead that I think are just way better, not only for your budget, but also just for the way they look on your skin and the way they wear and just like the overall everything about it, formula, coverage, longevity, blendability, all those things. These two concealers just far outweigh the Tom Ford in all those aspects, but especially for your wallet. So $95, skip this, okay? Please skip it. And if you get it and you love it, please just disregard it. Disregard what I'm saying and continue to love it. I hope you love it if you do end up getting it. It's not bad. And I want to make sure I call that out too. It's just not worth the money. So Tower 28 Swipe Concealer, incredible if you have dry under eyes. Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I think this is good for all skin types, all under eye situations. It's very full coverage. It's very long wearing and it's very flawless. I wear the shade either N4 or N5. I can kind of go between either one. This is N4, which gives me a subtle brightening effect, and the N5 just really kind of blends into my skin almost too well. So I'm going to do this all over. And again, not the world's most expensive concealer, but a very phenomenal concealer. Either one of those, you just cannot go wrong. So I'm going to tap it in as I normally do with my N14. And we're going to go for a simple makeup look. The world's most expensive makeup look, like the makeup look that I did itself, was ultra glam. Ultra glam, okay? I mean, that was like, I rarely do my makeup that ultra glam. It's really fun to do. It's really fun to kind of bust out all the stops every once in a while, like I did for that video. I felt like I really had a lot of makeup on. And it was a very, like I said, it's a very glam look. So we're going to do something totally different. And we're just going to do a really soft, more natural look using the products I think are worth it. So skip the Tom Ford. Definitely not worth your hard-earned money. So I'm going to buff whatever is left over just on my eyelid for a bit more coverage and to reduce that redness that I have on my eyelid. Just like that. Now, I'm not going to use a cream bronzer. I'm going to keep it really natural. And honestly, I have been skipping cream bronzer a lot lately for a couple reasons. Lack of time being one of them. Lack of energy to do two different things, like a cream and then a powder on top. And also because I find that the Hermes bronzer lays beautifully on glowy, not so set down makeup. But I'm going to do a light dusting first, so go back to that in a second. We're going to revisit the La Prairie $250 powder. This did come with a mini powder on top, which quickly went into my pro makeup kit, and I have been using that thing and loving it so much. So you probably already know my thoughts on this if you've been watching me since that video first aired, but I love this powder. I think it is absolutely show-stoppingly beautiful. So I'm going to shake a bit into the cap, okay? And this is heavy. This is not travel friendly. I will just call that out. So the fact that they put a travel size mini one in the same box with this for the same, I mean, for $250, but still, you got a bonus product, which was great. But the fact that they did that is very, very thoughtful. I really, as a consumer, I really appreciate that. Same N14. I'm going to dip into the container. I'm going to first set my under eyes. This powder feels very silky, very lightweight. I really think this is an ideal powder for dry under eyes or just dry skin in general. So I put that mini one in my kit, and I'm not using it on my oily skin clients. I'm really kind of saving it for my dry, more mature skin clients. It's like, it's coming in really, really handy for those clients, and they're loving the way it looks. They're not complaining about the feeling of it, which is always a plus and always a true telltale sign. Like when I put new things in my makeup kit and I don't get any complaints and I get positive feedback, I know I did the right thing by putting those products into my kit, you know? So I'm gonna hit the T-zone and just kind of buff along my forehead. And we hit my chin. My chin's a little too shiny. And then we're also gonna do, let me grab my N16 brush, blend out the creases, which do happen pretty quickly because my eyelids are very oily. Take some more La Prairie powder. And what I've been doing is setting my actual eyelids, not my under eyes, not just my under eyes, but my actual eyelids with the same powder. And then I go in with Sahara, which is the Hermes $105 powder bronzer. You already know that I've been loving this. I've been living for this bronzer. It has quite literally knocked my socks off, and it takes a lot to knock my socks off, but this did it, and it is just, there's just something so beautiful about it. The formula is perfection, like literally perfection. The only drawback, if I could find one, is it's not going to be for everyone because it is scented, and I know a lot of you don't like fragrance in your cosmetics or any of your, you know, your beauty products, and I totally understand. So just something to call out, it is fragranced. However, I've mentioned this before, I think it smells just lovely. So I blend this all over my eye with my N13 brush, and I really just get it all over. Like, this has been a daily look for me, especially if we're just going to work. Because if I'm going to work, I'm not doing fun makeup usually on myself. I'm usually just doing something very basic, very toned down, very minimal, but something that just kind of still draws attention to my eyes, still brings them out, which I always want to do that. I still want to feel pretty when I go to work, you know? So toned down and minimal, but still like me and still my style. So just blending this all over, and I kind of bring it along the side of my nose. This is something you could do with the N13 brush or any blending eyeshadow brush if it's just used for like one shade, like a bronzer shade like I'm doing right now. This brush was clean prior to me using it, so what you could do is just multitask. This is like multitasking at its finest right here. You carry it over down the bridge of your nose, straight down, you sweep it underneath, then you bring it back up to the other side, and boom shakalaka, you have the easiest, quickest natural nose contour that takes you all of 2 seconds, and it's attached and connected to your eye makeup, which is always a nice look because that gives you a very beautiful cohesiveness to your glams. Okay, I'm going to switch my brush to the N12 brush, same Hermes bronzer in the shade Sahara. There's about 4 other shades. There's 5 shades total, I believe. Yeah, I believe it was 5, not 4, in this bronzer. And again, very expensive bronzer. It's the world's most expensive bronzer that I could find. But in my opinion, this is just so worth it. So I do take the same N12 brush and I use whatever the matte shade is. So there's a bunch of different tones within the same pan. I use the matte one that's in the middle, and I just shade a little bit on my lip. I like to bring out my lip line. My lip line, I talk about this a lot, but my lip line gets very lost in the shuffle of my complexion. So we're going to bring it back to life by just lightly shading it, just like that. So there's actually two different bronzers that I picked up for the world's most expensive makeup look. One was from Sicily. It was $140, right? Yeah, $140. And it's a gel, more creamy based highlighter. It is really pretty, and actually it does work really beautifully as a quick eyeshadow, like a quick bronzy eyeshadow. However, I do not recommend this. The price is just, it does not justify. It's just not justifiable is what I'm trying to say. It's just not worth it. It's really pretty on. However, the pan is very, very hard. So you have to use a very dense brush to pick up enough product, or you have to use your fingers like I just did. So not worth it. We're not going to give any more attention to that product because it's just not worth your time. The other product that I think is just not worth your time, honestly, and I'm going to skip for this video, is the Tom Ford Cream Blush. Although I love the shade, I think the shade is absolutely beautiful. I don't find myself grabbing it. There's something about the formula that just, it's just not, God, there's something kind of missing with the formula. And I find that if I don't use this in a very gentle way, if I'm not like really precious with it and the way I blend it on, it can go patchy a little quick, a little too quick for $95. So we're going to put this, was it 95? I'm forgetting the prices. It's all a blur of spending way too much money. So we're not going to use this. Instead, we're going to opt just for two different things. I'm going to first apply a highlighter. And I actually picked up two highlighters for this video as well. One is this stunning, you've already seen it a million times on my channel at this point, but it's the Go Clutch Nude Edition from valentinobeauty. This is the On the Move Illuminating Powder. In other words, it's a stunning highlighter that also came with a mini lipstick, which is super cute. And I love a good little mini lipstick for popping in little clutches. No, I have not worn this out as jewelry, and I have not worn this, I just have not worn this out in public. I just admire it quietly and alone in my studio. That's about it. So $250 for the world's most expensive highlighter. But it is beautiful. It's really, really quite beautiful. And the other one that I actually want to give more attention to this time around, because I've given the Valentino a lot of attention, is this. This. This is the Hermes Coral Mojave O2 highlighter. Very, very beautiful. Now this gives a different finish from the Valentino. The Valentino I'm actually going to use on my eyes because I've been talking about using it as an eyeshadow since I filmed that world's most expensive video. But we'll get to that in a second. Backside of my N17, I'm going to swirl into this beautiful, very golden highlighter from Hermes. Now, this was also $105, and I do think this formula, just like the powder bronzer, is exceptional. I think it's quite beautiful, quite a luxury experience. And I'm going to lay this down first and put a blush on top to get a glow from within look. But it's just gorgeous. You know, there's not much else you can say about a beautiful highlighter. It kind of speaks for itself, especially on camera. Look at that. It's really quite beautiful. I'm going to pinch my brush, dip into a couple of the shades. And I'm going to run this on the top tip of my nose and on the very top of the bridge. I'm going to leave the center bare. I don't want it to be too over the top disco-y, but I do think this is worth it. So if you want to treat yourself and have a moment where you're really, really treating yourself, I say go for it. I don't think you'll regret it because you'll love the way it looks on. Just my opinion. Now let's try officially the Valentino highlighter as an eyeshadow. And I think what I'm going to do is use this as a beautiful pop of a tear duct highlight. So I'm going to use my Angie Hanna Flashy A504, one of my favorites. Dip into this. And we're just going to swirl along the tear duct of my eye. Yeah, it's really pretty. What I liked about this formula too is this formula felt really buttery and really smooth on. It didn't feel like a powdery, dry 2014 through 16 type highlighter, even though it is essentially, you know, it's exactly like that kind of style. It just felt more creamy. It felt more luxurious than that type of like old school powder highlighter that we kind of associate with like old school Instagram makeup or at least I do. So it feels really creamy and really nice. That's really nice. Let's take a little extra because I've also wanted to do this and use it as a spotlight. Oh, yeah. Very nice. I had one of you ask me recently if I had a chance to use this as an eyeshadow, and it jogged my memory, and I wrote it down in my notes on my phone. Like, I write everything down in my notes in my phone, and that's how I remembered to use it today. So thank you for calling that out and reminding me. Really pretty. See, that's a nice simple eye that takes 2 seconds to do. Anyone could do it. Now let's talk about eyeliner, because I did not think this one from Sicily was worth it. However, I did love the lip liner, but that's more because I was biased with the color. Like, I love the shade of chocolate lip liner that I picked up from Sicily. But, you know, $70. Oh, is this chocolate? Oh, sorry. This is the lip liner. Where is the eyeliner? The eyeliner I put somewhere else for some odd reason. The eyeliner was just not worth it. So the reason why I say it wasn't worth it is because it just felt very dry. And the last thing I want to do on my eyes is tug it, you know, unnecessarily. I don't want to have to like work really hard to get a good finish with my eyeliner. I want my eyeliners, especially my pencils, basically to go on creamy and smooth and to be long wearing. And the eyeliner just did not do that. So I kind of want to find it, but I also think I'm not going to use it anyway. So we're just going to skip holding it up. So instead, we're going to do a liquid liner, and it's actually a Tom Ford liquid liner. So kind of along the same lines, very, very overpriced, very expensive. However, I will say I travel with this. I grab this a lot, and I love the fact that it's double-ended. So this is one side of the pen, and then the other side is a lot longer. Of course, it's a brush, so if you're not careful, you could kind of break apart the bristles like I did. So I usually skip using this side, and I usually stick to this side. Much more precision with this side, I've noticed, and much more control. So I'm going to use this to apply a nice little baby wing, which is usually what I do when I'm going to work. So let me pop this on. I start where my bottom lash line and my top lash line connect. I start in that little inner corner, and I just slowly make my way out. If you have hooded eyes like I do, you know, make sure, of course, you're remembering to look straight ahead into a mirror and not look down. Don't close your eyes if you can, because that's when things end up in places you don't want it to do. Cute. You know, just a cute little baby wing. Nothing too intense. Now, this is my hard eye, so I'll take a deep breath and then hopefully get this on nice and even. I should mention also, very important, this doesn't run or smudge or transfer, which is also why I love it. Still not quite worth the price tag. There are so many good inexpensive liquid liners that do the same thing, but you know, I'm going to keep it authentic. I do really, really like this one. They're sisters, not twins, just like your brows. We'll try to do the best we can, but this is Nikki Uncut, and I don't want you to be bored while I'm trying to get my liquid liner on. Okay, let me even this out a bit more. My one hooded eye is really hooding today. It is really, it woke up and chose violence today. Oh, step away from the liquid liner, you know? Okay, so normally I would do my mascara now, which is what I'm going to do, but we are not going to waste our time with the Sicily mascara. This was just terrible, okay? Don't waste your money. Skip this. I hope you didn't buy it. I hope I didn't influence you to buy it. If you did buy it and you love it, great, continue to use it. I hope you do enjoy it. However, I do not recommend it. So instead, also luxury, probably the only luxury, really, really pricey mascara that I would actually tell you to buy that I think is worth it is the YSL Lash Clash. It is a fantastic, it's a fantastic mascara. It really is. Larger wand. It's a very dramatic mascara. So if you're not looking for drama, then this is not for you. However, if you are looking for the drama with your eyes and your lashes, then I say definitely, this one is definitely worth checking out. Do a little coat on each side. Actually, I'll probably do 2 coats on each side. Why not? And then we do need to address these eyebrows because I have lots of thoughts on the brow products that I used for the world's most expensive makeup tutorial. And they were all not good, not worth the money. And I've never touched them since. Not bad. See, I don't know. I just think it's a fantastic formula. Oh, okay. We can breathe now because the mascara is on. I did not get it all over the place. Let's talk about brows, like I said. Now, 2 products I used for that video, one of which I had bought for a full face of Tom Ford Beauty. It is the Tom Ford Brow Laminating Something Gel. It doesn't even say on the container, but this is terrible. This is not worth your money. It's like $65. It doesn't hold. It just, plain and simple, does not hold. So it says it's a laminating gel. It is not doing any of that. It's holding on for dear life for a couple hours at the most. And then after a few hours, my brows just went and like fell right down. Also, I haven't been able to address this yet, but boy, did this look like a disaster midway through my day after I filmed that video. So as I wore that makeup, I wore it throughout the entire day because I wanted to see actually how that makeup was going to wear. That's like a big true test on whether or not I'm going to recommend products or whether or not I'm going to keep using them. And this brow pencil, I kept wondering and catching glimpses of myself and wondering, why do my brows look so blocky and blurry? So it's almost like my oil is in my skin naturally. And, you know, of course, with like the La Prairie foundation, which is very hydrating, it's like my oils in my skin just broke it down so much that it became like this blurry, blobby, just terrible mess. My brows were, you guys, my brows were a mess by the end of the day. They were looking rough, all kinds of rough. So instead, first of all, let's address the brow gel. If you really want your brows to stay up and not move, even when it's hot, even if you have oily skin, I highly recommend the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze Gel. Not the pomade. That one does not last long at all. The gel is what's going to keep your brows up and in place, you know, even on a hot day. So, and it's affordable. It's like actually a normal price product. So way better than the Tom Ford by leaps and bounds, quite literally. I'm going to let that dry down a bit. And then we're going to just kind of draw on top of them with, where'd it go? One of my new favorite products, it's the Bodyography Epic Brow Pen. Now, you know also I love my Maybelline Build Brow. That is like drugstore, affordable, never lets me down. I have them in my Pro Kit. I love those things. But this is a new one that I've been just really impressed with. It's pretty much exactly the same as Maybelline Build Brow. Same kind of like small little tip. Very affordable and way better. Even if you like a pencil and you don't prefer a pen, I like both. I would say skip this one 1000%. And honestly, NYX makes a great thin, like micro pencil that you can get instead. Or I love the ones from Patrick Ta. I think those are fantastic. Very thin, very like micro pencil. So very, very thin. You can get like thin little brow, like brush stroke, brow, like hairs is what I'm trying to say. This I thought was going to give me that because it's a very fine tip, very thin pencil. But it just blurs so bad. It's not cute. I don't recommend it. And yeah, I don't recommend it. While this is still drying down, I'm going to actually pop on my blush because I want to add my blush. And I've been loving this, okay? Even though it was an absolute fortune, this was also $140. It's from Sicily. Sicily had some of the most expensive makeup that I had ever encountered in my life. So this is like a blush highlighter hybrid. It gives off a lot of colors, so I actually use it just mainly as a really pretty light corally blush. I'm going to apply with my N15. The components, the embossed print, I mean, it's a stunning product. Let's just be real. It is absolutely, it's beautiful. Is it worth the money? No, but I'm using it in this video because I genuinely have been enjoying it. And so it's all about like, you know, do I recommend it? Not necessarily. If you want to treat yourself, it's really beautiful and I don't think you would be unhappy with it. The only thing you'd be unhappy with is the fact that your wallet is going to take a hit. It's going to take a hit and it's going to cry over it. It is very buildable, so you will see me apply like quite a bit and kind of buff it into my skin, which I don't mind. I like building up blushes a bit more than having like super intense color payoff right out the gate because those can be a little bit more difficult to work with. I find this one is a very nice, very easy to work with formula that you can build up to whatever your desired look is. So all over, just like a really pretty, happy, glowy blush moment. Reminds me a bit of like, you know, NARS Orgasm or this new Armani one that I've been loving. It's the shade 50. It's like a luminescent peachy pink blush. Reminds me of that, just much more expensive. I'm going to take whatever's left over and sweep it across my nose. And I do love the way it looks. I mean, I really have been enjoying this quite a bit. I've traveled with it. I've thrown it into my to-go makeup bag to wear to work as like a nice light, pretty blush. So I've been liking it a lot. I've been getting my money's worth, which is good for me. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on that. If you want to treat yourself and have a moment where you're just getting something beautiful, I say go for it. But if not, skip it. You will live without it. No, 100%. Going back to Sahara and the 104 brush from BK Beauty. This is my favorite large powder brush. I'm going to try not to get this too much into my cute little headband. Which you might know by now, or you might have realized by now, I am hiding my bangs behind it because I can't. I got bangs. I think they're really cute. I'm having a lot of fun with them. It's just a nice change, especially because I have a slightly larger forehead. So I have bangs, but I've quickly realized that bangs and doing makeup tutorials are really they're really not best friends. So they barely get along, and we just do the best we can over here. We have to kind of get them out of the way because I can't blend my foundation on. I can't blend my bronzer on when I can't even get my eyebrows on when I have my bangs down and out. So they're up and tucked away. So look how pretty Sahara looks. Just blend it on with a large brush. You can use a smaller brush too if you want it to be a little bit more intense. I like my bronzers to be more diffused and a little more natural. So applying it with the BK Beauty 104 is just kind of like the perfect application tool. I'm going to blend this down the jawline. And this is exactly how I've been doing my bronzer when I'm, again, in a hurry. When I want to skip doing the cream, I just kind of load this up and I wear out my complexion all over. And I get compliments on my skin when I wear this. So definitely loving this. Been wearing this on repeat. There's a random fly hanging out with us. I don't know if you caught him yet on camera, but he keeps zipping by my face. But yeah, really pretty. Right? I mean, I don't know. I love it. I really, really have been enjoying this and loving it so much. I'm going to buff out these creases a bit. I have a little bit of creasing going on. And now we can revisit the brows. The brow gel has fully dried down. I'm going to apply the Epic Brow Pen from Bodyography. And let's get these brows in a better place. And while I'm doing this, I would love to know if you've seen, first of all, if you missed the whole full face of the world's most expensive makeup, I will link it in the description box of this video so you can check it out so you have more context as to what I'm talking about and how I use the products originally and all that stuff. But I would also love to know, you know, if you did pick up any of those products, if you are loving them, if you took any back. I mean, I want to just hear, I want to hear your thoughts. Like, just tell me in the comments. I would love to hear from you all. So whether it's good or bad. Much better. I mean, it's just night and day, you know? It's like my face is framed, all this. It's like my face comes alive when my brows are done. That's how I feel. Let me get this one on. Look how easy it is just to flick this up and just get little individual brow hairs going. For my no brow people out there, a brow pen, it really is a game changer. I'm so happy they invented brow pens. Much, much better. Oh, all right. So we have a few things left, and I do want to touch on the lipstick, okay? Both these lip products, actually, I prepped my lips in that video with the La Mer Volumizing Lip Balm. It's like a lip conditioner that also adds volume to your lips. This was $95 or $90. Again, it'll all be linked, or it's linked in the original video. All I'd say, not worth it. Save your money. You don't need this. It's just not, it's just overpriced for what it is. It felt nice. It looked pretty, but you don't need it, and I'm not going to use it for this video. I'm also not going to use the original lipstick that I used for the world's most expensive makeup look. This is from Louboutin, Christian Louboutin makeup. Very pricey. This is $100. Now, it's funny. I have a little update because I messed up. Somewhere along the way of doing my investigating and researching and all that stuff and shopping for this video, I thought that this was the world's most expensive lipstick. At least this was the one that I could find. And what's really funny too is I looked on the Chanel website. Chanel was probably one of the first makeup brands actually that I kind of dove into to see what their price points were compared to all the rest when I was trying to like map out this video and see what is the world's most expensive makeup. And for some reason, I don't know how, but I missed. Lo and behold, I missed the fact that Chanel actually, in fact, is the, they hold the title of world's most expensive lipstick. I did not know this lipstick existed. It did not pop up when I was searching products. It did not pop up at all. I mean, it was like it didn't even exist. And it wasn't for... If it wasn't for you guys telling me, there was a few of you that messaged me and told me that this is actually the world's most expensive lipstick. So now, you know, now we know. Now we know. Do I want to buy it? No, I don't. I really do not. I'm actually sick to my stomach over the price of this video in the first place. So I don't want to buy it. Now we both know this is it. It's $195. It's the 31 Le Rouge satin lipstick. There's multiple shades to choose from. Kind of cool. Look at that. That's pretty neat. Can you see that? Anyway, so that is the world's most expensive lipstick, not the Christian Louboutin for $100. So anyway, either way, I'm not going to use this. I don't recommend it. It was beautiful. The packaging is absolutely stunning. I would say if you're a collector and a makeup enthusiast that likes to collect makeup and really fun packaging, then get it. But to buy it just for the sake of the formula and the color, skip it, you know? If that makes sense. All right, we're going to finish up this lip. And I'm going to talk about the Sicily lip liner once again. So this is the shade Chocolate. I've been loving it. I've been wearing it a lot. I've been really, really enjoying it. And I've been wearing this with so many different lipsticks and even just glosses. And it pairs really beautifully. So it's not that the formula is worth it. The shade I really love. And that's why I've continued to use it and to enjoy it. So $70. Which is an insane amount for a lip liner. Nobody needs to spend $70 on a lip liner. Nobody. But am I going to use it on my channel and get my money's worth? Yes. Do I love this shade I picked out? Absolutely. I love this shade. It is so, so pretty and so, just so up my alley. So let me line my lips really quick. And once again, it's nice. The formula is nice. It's just not worth it, you know? So that's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that. Take what you will from that. And let me grab my a lipstick that I do think is worth it. And a new formula is just so, so pretty and so, so nice. These are very affordable. These are from my friend Allie Glines, fellow YouTuber. She has her brand Rovie Beauty. They came out with 3 new shades in the Effortless Lips lipsticks. This one is by far my favorite. I've been wearing Peony with so many different lip liners and lip combos, including chocolate. So let's pop Peony. Just got some in my hand. Right on top. And again, much more affordable. Under $30, much more affordable. Again, no one needs to spend $100 on lipstick unless you are a collector and you want to have it in your makeup collection, which I fully support that too. So that is Peony with chocolate. How good is this combo? And that's stunning, you know? That is so pretty. Such a departure from the original makeup look that I did for the World's Most Expensive Makeup look. But I think equally beautiful, just completely different. Much more natural, much more soft. I am going to skip the Tom Ford setting spray because that was not worth it and not worth your pennies. Where did I even put that, actually? Oh, here. I was like, it wasn't in my bin. I just realized. Yeah, so this is more like a hydrating mist. Not worth the money. You do not need to spend, this was $85, I believe. You do not need to spend $85 on a hydrating mist or a setting spray. That's just wild. You do not need to do that. So instead, I'm going to give you my favorite drugstore option, which is also still very hydrating. This contains glycerin and niacinamide in it, making it feel really comfortable on your skin. I go through Milani Make It Last like it's water. Like I go through this like it's literally going out of style. So I'm going to shake this up. We're going to set the World's Most Expensive Makeup look part 2 or round 2. And that's going to be the look. So hold please. I'm not going to douse my skin too much because I want to wrap this up and it's a Nikki Uncut, so I don't want to keep you for too long. But this is the look. This is me revisiting the products and this is me sharing with you what I actually think was worth it and what I've been really genuinely loving behind the scenes and also in front of the camera and what I've been sharing with you. So leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the products that you did see in that makeup tutorial and let me know if you did pick any of them up. Like I said, if you're liking them, if you think that they're worth the money, if they're worth the splurge. Tell me also if you've tried that Chanel lipstick for $200. I would love to hear if you have and if it's worth it or what your thoughts are on that. But either way, comment below. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being a part of my community and for being a subscriber. And if you're new, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And that is it. I will see you in the next Nikki Uncut. Here's the finished look. I hope you enjoyed. See you soon. Bye.